Hi guys, sorry to interrupt your video. Just a quick plea, subscribe to my channel please. If you haven't done it already, subscribe. Tell your friends, subscribe. Thanks. You're driving along this road. What should you do if the red car cuts in close front or cuts you up? Well, primarily we're interested in safety, aren't we? And if you drive close to a vehicle, that is not safe. So if somebody's in front of me, you just drop back, create a bit more room. All right, so accelerate to get close to the red car? No. Give a long blast of the horn? It's only to alert them to there. If they cause a danger, if they're putting in front of you and slowing down, then you might go whoa because they've done something. But I'd be hitting the brake pedal, never mind about hitting the horn. Drop back to leave a correct separation distance. Absolutely right. There's no point in getting your car near to a vehicle in front because it's your insurance that pays out when you crash into them. Flash your headlights several times. No. To drive in an aggressive manner contravenes section 3 of the Road Traffic Act 1988, and so you get points for driving like an idiot basically. All right, so we've got to be considerate. This is all about attitude, and basically you've got to be thinking, oh dear bless him. If somebody cuts you up, you go, oh dear bless him, he's made an error. Not, oh idiot, he's made an error. You've always got to be thinking, oh dear, he's made a mistake, bless him, we'll let him off. Alright? That's the idea. People will make mistakes. You don't want to be driving around Mr. Angry. You just got to go, because your blood pressure will go through the roof. You'll be dead by the time you're 30. Just chill out, man. There are so many people on the road, so many inconsiderate and stupid people on the road that you'll have a heart attack if you got wound up by every time you're being cut up, because you'll be cut up about 50 times a day if you live your life on the road like I do. So just chill out. You're driving on a clear night. Which light should you use if the national speed limit applies and there's a steady stream of oncoming traffic? That would be dipped headlights. Go and watch the video about lighting. But dipped headlights, full beams would blind everybody. Side lights you can't see because you've only a little lights coming on the side of the car. There's not enough to see what's on the floor. Fog lights are blinding people. So dipped headlights for driving around if there's oncoming traffic, because you don't want to go boom. If there's oncoming traffic, you'll blind everyone, you see. Next, you're waiting in a queue of traffic at night. How can you avoid dazzling drivers behind you? Easy. Put your handbrake on, take your foot off the brake. If you've got your foot on the brake pedal, you've got bright lights on for your brake lights. That's affecting the vision of the car behind you. So just park up, handbrake on, take your foot off the brake pedal. The lights go out the back. You're not affecting anybody's vision. Happy days, drive on. But again, it's in the video about your lighting. So use the parking brake and release the foot brake. There you go. Don't blind people. Keep your foot on the foot brake. No, that'll keep the lights on. Balance the clutch and accelerator. No point. Use the parking brake and foot brake together. No, just put the parking brake on. Parking brake equals hand brake. All right. You're approaching a zebra crossing, so that's a stripy pole with a flashing ball on top. What should you do if pedestrians are waiting to cross? Right. Technically, you only have to give way to people who are actually on the crossing, but if there's someone waiting to cross, there's a chance they might step out. No examiner is going to allow you to go through a pedestrian crossing if there's a pedestrian standing there just about to walk out. It's just not safe, and their primary role is to check safety. So don't drive going, well, technically I don't need to. If it's potentially dangerous, just don't do it, all right? So, what should you do if pedestrians are waiting to cross? Give way to older and infirm people only? No. Slow down and be prepared to stop? Absolutely right. Use your headlights to indicate they can cross? No. Wave them across? No. Never wave pedestrians across or flash headlights. Just don't do it. Here we go. As you approach a zebra crossing, look for pedestrians waiting to cross. Where you can see them, slow down and prepare to stop. Be especially careful of children and older people who may have difficulty judging when it's safe to cross. And remember, the length of the crossing is important. The pedestrian must completely clear the crossing, or at least if there are two crossings, you're crossing inside. You know, if there's a central island with a pub, go and watch the thing about pedestrian crossings. I explain it all in there. But if there's the bit that you are responsible for, which is in front of your car, if there's a pedestrian still on it, I don't care if it's on that side of the road or not, you are not allowed on the crossing until they are on the pavement. What should you do if a vehicle pulls in front of you at a junction? Chill out, man. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Swerve past it. Alright, so what do you think's happening here? What should you do if a vehicle pulls out in front of you at a junction? I think we're driving along the main road and he's putting out from a side road. Again, just assume he's made an error, bless him. Whoops, never mind. Probably a lot on his mind. Maybe he's getting a divorce, who knows. So just chill out, give him some space. Slow down and be prepared to stop. There you go. Just chill out. Doesn't matter. Besides, if you start getting angry at someone who's already in a bad mood, driving like an absolute idiot, and you start giving it large, what's stopping him putting the brakes on getting out and lumping you on? He's already in a bad mood. Don't add to it. Just let it go. When should you leave a 2-second gap between your vehicle and the one in front? When it's dry. Watch the video on 2-second rule. Remember, 2 in the dry, 4 in the wet, 20 on snow and ice or diesel. Right. You're driving at night on an unlit road. What should you do if you're following another vehicle? Well, you want to stay back. Use your dipped headlights because you don't want to blind the car in front of you. I don't know why you want to flash your headlights. Switch off your headlights. God, no, you can't see. Use full beam. No, that'll blind them. Actually, if you're following a car, tip for it, following a car at night time, you have a light spillage. So the light that's coming out from your car is creating a pool of light on the floor. If you drive so that the car that you're following is just outside that pool of light, then you've got a lovely separation distance. A little tip for you. And in fact, his pool of light means that you can actually see 2 pools of light, so it actually increases the distance that you can see is clear because you've got 2 lots of cars. There's no point in putting him in your pool of light. You're not maximising your opportunity then. What should you do if you're driving a slow moving vehicle on a narrow winding road? Right, okay. So what I'm thinking is, if it's a slow moving vehicle on a narrow winding road, it's difficult for people to overtake. There's probably a queue of cars behind me. I'm thinking, again, attitude. This is the topic. We're checking to make sure you're a considerate person. So think of others and how your actions affect other people. So let's have a look. Keep well out to stop vehicles overtaking dangerously. No, it's not your responsibility. It's up to them to make that decision. Wave the vehicles behind you to come past if you think they can overtake quickly. No, because your perception of their abilities and their ability of the car and their skill set might be incompatible. So you might think, oh yeah, I can do that, but if they've got a really slow car and come out and can't actually get past you before something turns up, they're dead. Pull in when you can and let the vehicles behind overtake. Yes, that's a decent thing to do, isn't it? Tractors often do that. Give a left signal when it's safe for other vehicles to overtake you. You can do, but again, I normally will pull in, I'll indicate, start to slow down, look like I'm parking up, and let them go. If they have overtaken me before I even get to stopping, then I'll just carry on driving again. But basically, you want to be thinking, pull in where I can to let them go, if you're going to just carry on driving slowly. Tractors do this all the time. Why is it dangerous to drive too close to the vehicle ahead? Okay, right. If you drive close to something and it stops, you will smash your car up. Go and watch the video about the 2-second rule. Right, your engine will overheat. No, it won't. Your mirrors will need adjusting. No, they won't, because your mirrors look backwards and we're worried about following too closely to a vehicle. Your view of the road ahead will be restricted. It will. The nearer you are to something, like for instance, here's a finger, right? Now, my finger is a long way away from you, and so therefore you can see me. But as I get nearer, now you can't see my head. As I get nearer and nearer, now you can't see near as damn it anything. Okay, so the nearer you get to something, the worse your vision is. So that's why you stay back, because this vehicle is still the same width, but from where you are, you get to see the whole surrounding areas. You'd get to see if junctions were coming up and so on. So why is it dangerous to drive too close? Well, apart from the fact that you'll smash into the back of them, your view of the road will be restricted. It also means that they can't see you if it's a lorry, for instance. What will happen if you follow this vehicle too closely? Right, let's have a see. Brakes will overheat. Well, not if you're not using them. Your fuel consumption will be increased. No, it won't. It'll probably be the opposite, actually. Your engine will overheat. No, it won't. Your view ahead will be reduced. That looks familiar. You're being overtaken by a long, heavily laden lorry. Fine. What should you do if it's taking a long time for it to overtake? Remember, lorry's limited to speed, so it could well be that he's in a rush, he's trying to get on with it. You're doing 50, he's limited to 55, for instance, and he's just cruising past you very slowly. The longer he takes, or the longer he spends in the path of oncoming traffic, the more chance there is that there's a car crash. And if ultimately you're happy for him to overtake you, why don't you just slow down so he can get past you and back in quickly? You can create a gap. Problem solved. Again, considerate, helping him out. So, what should you do if it's taking a long time for it to overtake? I would slow down. Oh, I am right. What should you do if you're being followed by an ambulance showing flashing blue lights? Watch the video on Blue Light Aware that I recorded earlier on. Basically, don't panic. Start looking for a place where it can safely overtake you. Pull over, let it go. So pull over as soon as it's safe to do so. I'm liking that. Let's see what else. There could be a better option. Accelerate hard to get away from it. Well, you can do that on the motorway, I suppose. I mean, ambulances have got a top speed of about 60, so if you're on the motorway, it'll take blooming ages for him to get past. But of course, you could well be going to the scene of the accident, so it is often worth letting the ambulance go past you. Maintain your speed and course. No, because we don't know what's coming up. Basically, the fewer cars the ambulance has between it and its end destination, the more likely it is that the reason he's getting there won't be a problem, i.e. somebody won't die. So if we can be one less car for it to worry about, happy days. Alright, so pull over as soon as you can. Brake harshly and stop well out into the road. What, so do an emergency stop in front of an ambulance and block the road? No, I don't recommend it.